Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. This is Homesick Philly Bros.
Edition 1.
This is my brother,
Stephen Laborde.
I am Eugene Labordi, and my beautiful wife, our beautiful producer, Rachel B. Labordi. This is just a podcast. We're going to try and make it quick, of Philadelphia sports. We no longer live there.
What's the name of the podcast?
Homesick Philly Bros.
Mm-hmm.
We're just trying to give you a little bit of something, give you a little bit of our love. Rachel, can you please give us our plugs?
Sure. So our Twitter handle is AML_media_. Same with our YouTube handle, AML_media_. Instagram is a little bit different, AML media_. And you can find all of those links on our website, aml.news.blog. So as long as you can get there, you can get to all of our social media pages, and you can get direct links to our podcast there.
That was beautifully done.
Thank you.
Well articulated.
Most importantly is the website, aml.news.blog. Let's get right into it.
What is this podcast? This is a quick
This
hitter.
is the Homesick Philly Bros. We just want to give you a quick little love to Philly sports.
Right.
A little bit of updates, a little bit of our opinions, and just how we feel. We're known as passionate fans. Us growing up together, very passionate fans.
Yeah, it's in the blood, the Philly sports fandom. And now we both are transplanted to Pittsburgh, and it's a heavy burden to carry around here. As a diehard Philly sports fan, being in Pittsburgh,
It really goes to show how hard you have to work if you don't live in that area. How much, and once again, Rachel usually sets it up for us
she gets us in there
just
somehow.
to watch a simple football game.
God forbid you want to watch a baseball game or a Sixers game. Hockey, don't even try.
It's really hard, and the money you spend a lot of times doesn't even get you to watch
NFL
those games.
ticket.
Yeah, so I usually can't shut the fuck up. I'm gonna let Steven, who has
I'm newly
dedicated his
transplanted.
life.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
really-
You know, I'm really big on the coverage of the teams, the local reporters, Ruben Frank, Dave Zangaro,
Give
Michael
your shout outs.
Barpan,
Say them again.
Ray Didinger. Okay, Hall of Famer. I mean, I grew up with these guys, and I miss that so much. Thank God for YouTube. A decent amount goes up there. I can get Ricky Bowe and Ben Davis in the Phillies coverage.
I have to say,
That's the essence, bro.
this really is what this guy does.
Yeah.
Steven doesn't even watch sitcoms. I sometimes get him into watching a movie, but all day long, the kid lives and breathes. Not even just the sport, the coverage of it. You were supposed to be
Yeah, in
a
some way, shape, or
Philadelphia
form.
media sports coverage.
I missed my calling.
You did.
Doing stupid shit. But anyway, this is about just the current state of affairs. It's important to iterate how difficult it is when you grow up in Philadelphia, being a diehard.
All you have
4
to
for
do
4.
is click on the TV and it's there.
And you got to go out of your way. And we were up here in 2017. I was living up here too at the time. In 2017, we won the Super Bowl. I hate to touch a sore spot, but I drove in the middle of the night to get back to Philadelphia for the parade.
He did. Me and my wife bought this house 3 days before the Philadelphia Eagles won a Super Bowl. Steven was here to help us move in. He told me, you will regret the rest of your life not going to Philadelphia for the parade. And he was 120% correct. I will never get that chance again.
You're not the only one out there.
I'm not the only one.
Yeah. So I guess let's just
Well, what I was going to do is let's dive into kind of the least most important to the most important. So just a real quick, we love all Philly sports. Philadelphia Union got to the championship.
Do you know that we're the only team? I heard this stat, and Rachel, you could fact check it if you want, but the only city to have lost a championship on the same day with 2 teams. The Phillies went down, and the Union went down
That
in
was
the
a rough
title
day
games.
for us. We sat in my living room where I have 2 TVs.
We didn't even watch the end of the baseball game, did we?
We had to turn it off. It hurt us
It
too
hurts.
much.
Oh, it
That's
hurts.
I'm looking at you.
Here is a factual statistic.
Bring it.
Philadelphia becomes the first city to lose 2 major sports championships in the same day.
There you go. So I got that from someone else, probably Ruben Frank.
Ruby
Tuesday.
Follow him. He's
NBC
a good
Sports
guy.
Philadelphia. I'll give them a fucking plug. Okay.
That dude deserves more coverage.
He's not the most camera friendly guy, but that's okay.
But will give you the best information.
Yeah. If you're a stat
out
nerd,
there,
especially if you're a Philadelphia sports fan and a stat nerd, Ruben Frank. Okay.
Ruben Frank, Ruby. But our union, and we got to go to a game, our first game this year.
7-0 we won.
Yeah, that was fun.
DC
We played
United.
like one of the crappier teams, but if you get a chance to go to an MLS team, go to their game. It's so much fun.
Yeah, it's catching
We went
on
to
a lot
Subaru
now.
Park, I believe.
Yes. Yep.
That was so much fun. I mean, we had little kids standing on their seats behind us, throwing popcorn.
With the silly doop 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 doop.
And you know what? When we were there, we were like, doop, doop, doop.
doop.
It's so much fun. MLS is growing on, so we did.
So we are Sons of Ben.
That's a cool thing, too.
That's really cool.
And in the whole.
I mean, not officially. We're not actually.
We're not Sons of Ben,
but we're telling we
if
are.
you go to the game, there's a whole. It's like a high school football team. They have a whole fan stadium there.
Drums,
Dudes are playing the drums, smokes going off. Go to an MLS game. It's cheap. It's a lot of fun. But so then it's early in the season, but we had the 76ers.
Yeah, rough start.
Rough start.
Not what we expected, anyway. I mean, in a basketball season, a 4-6 isn't really have much, if anything, to point to what it's going to be at the end of the season. But nevertheless, we're looking for improvement out of this team from last year, and we expected better. Doc Rivers.
We got big names. I mean, I think we have, I might say, the best center in the league when he's in shape.
You could debate that.
That's a hard
Jokic,
one. That's a hard
Jokic,
one.
Whatever.
And I can't stand on a leg and really fight for any NBA stat.
No, but you're right though.
We got
Joel Embiid
Embiid.
is unanimously a top 3.
And he's just a solid dude.
Yeah.
Like he
plays
doesn't
a lot of video games.
He doesn't go and make a fool of himself in the nightclubs, having all these
James
girlfriends
Harden.
all the places. All the places.
But anyway, yeah, the Sixers off to a rough start.
They were saying he might be a little out of shape right now.
Joel, apparently, you always hear that about him. Though.
Yeah. I mean, he comes from a place where they don't have a lot of McDonald's, so you can't be that mad.
Well, he gets it. Yeah, once you come over here and start eating fast food, it's tough.
But I still
shout
love
out to
him.
Cameroon. Great place to.
Yeah, still love Joel. James Harden, he's hurt right now, but he was looking good in his first games. I do think he can be a veteran.
Skeptical here on the James Harden project.
Yeah.
But we got Tyrese Maxey. George Niang
kid.
with a big game the other night. George Niang definitely doesn't need to be on the court too much like he was last season, but he's a great little piece. I mean,
haven't got to watch a lot of games because once again, we're not in that market.
That's the whole point of the podcast is we're homesick for the Philadelphia market because we're out here in Western PA now.
The only thing we can do is talk about it and share the love.
We got to
with each other.
commiserate.
Yeah, but
we can't be the only ones out here.
Maxey's. I've seen clips. The dude's exciting. He's young. He just looks like he looks like a college player. You know how they say some dudes love college football compared to the NFL because they try harder? That's what I see out of Maxey. Like he's just always pushing the button as much as he can.
He belongs.
He does.
And you saw that quickly.
And he's a cool dude. He once again,
he has a lot of fun.
In the NBA, a lot of dudes make fools out of themselves.
So far, so good with Maxey.
We have a lot of people that aren't doing that.
So what's the next team?
I wanted to go to the Flyers.
See, I put the Sixers in front of the Flyers.
I was just saying, yeah, it was
if we're
a toss.
we're 4 for 4 now, 5 for 5. But if you're gonna rank,
so the Sixers are 5-6 as of November.
Okay, so they
10.
won.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we don't need to go
regardless,
back to the
we're
Sixers,
going to the
'cause
Flyers.
My stats are fucked up, and I said 4 and 6.
God, he doesn't get to watch enough YouTube now.
Yeah.
But now the Flyers, they're actually given us a little hope. We're not the biggest hockey heads.
The Flyers haven't been good in a really long time.
And it's hard to follow that league. So many things have changed.
The league hasn't been
so
great.
many. It's just not a strong
time.
league. But
There's
once again,
it
is a Philly
last place.
sport.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, growing up, the Flyers
Hart,
were the
our
shit.
goalie, has apparently been standing on his head. And as a
Well, he's
goalie
gonna have
myself,
to, yeah.
that's exciting. Because I always look at as a hockey team, it's like if you have a really good team in the NFL without a good quarterback, you're never going to be good.
Right.
It's the same thing in the NHL. You can have a really good team. If you don't have a
Right.
great, not even a good goalie, a great goalie,
It's
you're
hard to
never
win
gonna
a
do
cup.
anything. So, Flyers.
Shout out to John what is it, Tortella? I can't even
Yes.
pronounce what. But he's done something right because they won in a couple games, which honestly, I didn't see them.
I didn't either. Because they were saying we had young guys, we're going to do good, this and that. But regardless, 6-3-2. I hate the overtimes in hockey. That really does bother me.
Speaking of extra time, the Union going down on penalty kicks. MLS, get it together, man. You can't win a cup on the
A
penalties.
championship should not be decided by penalty kicks. I know
Bring
that
us the
that's
aggregate. Let us have 2 matches or something.
yeah,
but
3-3, and then it's just 3 good penalty kicks. Regardless,
it has nothing to do
Union-
with the actual sport. It's just free.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
You can have the shittiest team that can just be good at penalty kicks.
Yeah, so that's a coin
The
flip.
Flyers doing good, but what our real passion is, if you couldn't tell by our sweet old statue,
Birds, baby.
yeah, go Birds. Thank you, Beverly Bakary. She got me that.
Thanks, Bev.
Shout out, Bev. Is our Eagles, our Birds.
We're in
8-0.
Steeler country, bro.
We're in Steeler country
So
where
it's hard to
I have been here now for 11 years, and the Steelers have had have had great teams and won all these championships. So I've always had to bite my tongue because I don't have a kind of a leg to stand on sometimes. But
well, the Super Bowl changed a lot of things for us.
true. 8-0.
Jalen Hurts. Can I just talk about Jalen Hurts for a minute? I mean, even people who do sports coverage in Philly for a living, there was a lot of questions about the kid, and he's a hard worker. Unbeknownst to most of the Eagles fans, he really had another gear that no one
People
really saw
weren't.
coming.
People were talking about it, but we're like, is it ever actually
We were
going to show
unsure.
up? And as just a Philadelphia fan, any actual Philadelphia fan out there, people always call us assholes. if they will.
Negadelphians.
Yeah, but it's because we want good. We want great. And if we don't get it, we will speak our minds. And we have such great
Intelligent fans. We understand what's actually
fans,
going on.
and we have great sports media that covers it and
The best.
speaks the opinion of the people. So it sounds negative from the outside, but
It
if you're
really-
a real fan, it's like
we just know what's actually going on.
Yeah.
We're not just like, showing up and smiling. We want to see a good product.
and so
And when the money we spend, the fanfare we show out for, I mean, it's the least we can expect is quality product on the field.
and just real quick, I didn't include this, but that goes to show with Philadelphia ownership.
Jeffrey Lurie,
No, Phillies. The owner, he said, I'm going to spend a bunch of money. Stupid money, and we got to the World Series. Thank you, Phillies. You bought us a couple of weeks of passion and love and togetherness. It really did help. We didn't win. I don't think we were really
we shouldn't have.
supposed to be there, but we put together magic.
Yeah,
and
which
gave
is kind
us-
of like the Phillies story is always underdogs, always, don't belong there, but nevertheless, it was fun.
It gave us an extra, 6 weeks of this is awesome. We get something to
Something like
watch.
that, yeah. So playoff baseball's back in Philly, and it's a beautiful thing.
Red October.
Bryce Harper, get that elbow cleaned out for next season, and we're gonna.
And Schwarber. I haven't bought a jersey in a while. I might have to get myself a 7XL break.
Yeah,
Schwarber jersey.
It'll be like $600.
Yeah. But
Castellanos do better. Okay,
Castellanos, please do better.
swing the
He's been
bat.
hating, but just
Swing the bat.
you'll get better. We'll be there. But no, the Birds, 8-0, best record we've ever started off with in the history of the team.
Franchise record. which is kind of surprising. The Eagles have been around a long time. Anyway, it's a big deal.
And NFL has changed. There's been so many, like all sports, but professional football has gone through so many just different reigns of defense, running the ball, high-flying teams. So to go 8-0 gives us a little...
Yeah, it's a new era of football, and we are the best team.
In the summer, people were saying we're going to be an 8-8 team.
Yeah, well, it
points.
was. We set the expectation last year that we don't belong in the playoffs. The Bucs smoked us, but we got there, and again, we've hit a gear that you would be lying if you said you saw coming.
And just to talk about the team, if you really love them, we have so many cool characters on that team.
Yeah, if you're plugged in.
Jalen Hurts, keep up your shit. That's so cool to have a not loud mouth. The dude literally is like business all the time. And then
almost too much.
And then when he does do a little, like when he does something great, you do get to see a little splint of like personality.
Yeah, a little swag here and there.
But then
that's
we
okay.
have, I mean, just look at our offensive line. Both of us growing up offensive linemen our whole lives.
Respect.
Mulata, the dude was playing rugby 6 years ago, and then came on and might be one of the best left
tackles. We could do a whole
league.
podcast on Mulata.
We got Lane Johnson on the other side, right tackle.
No juice, not anymore. He's still probably the best tackle, at least right tackle.
And 3 or 2 years ago, he came out and was like, I have not mental problems, but what did he say?
He went off his
Anxiety,
antidepressant medication, and he needed to take a break and gather himself. And props to him for being willing to admit that. I mean, a macho, that's a big
to get away from the macho shit.
Yeah, to break the mold.
And then we have Jason Kelsey at center, who the guy is a national.
Yeah, he used to be just ours, but he's broke on with him and his brother doing their podcast now.
The patron
saint.
He was on
the Manning
cast.
cast.
And it's just like he was going to retire, and we were all sad. He goes, no, I'm going to come back for one more season. And he maybe, you could say, a little undersized, but he's mobile. You see when we break big runs, he's out in front hitting a fucking cornerback for a block.
And whoever's doing the broadcast, they pointed out it's not like he's an unsung hero
Broadcasting
anymore.
has gotten a little bit better of recognizing how big the offensive line is in the NFL.
How crucial, you mean?
Crucial.
Yeah.
And then we have our guards that Salamalo
Landon.
And we have a good rotation. Like if someone goes down, we don't have to go, oh, fuck, we're going to lose this game.
No, that's all Jeff Stout in the offensive line coach.
Good shout out, that guy. And then Jeffrey Lurie, as much as we have wanted to punch you in the face sometimes for your draft picks, getting A.J. Brown.
You mean Howie Roseman?
I'm sorry. Yeah, Jeffrey Lurie.
Jeffrey Lurie's the owner. Since he's taken over the team, it's been nothing but improvement. The stadium's beautiful. I don't know.
Go Green. We were the most environmental friendly.
Yeah. And the Link is an imposing building. When you drive down to South Philly and 95 and you see the Link,
it looks
beautiful.
Like something magical happens there. It's not just a building. It's like, whoa.
Yeah. It's like the Mecca.
So then we have Jalen Hurts doing his thing. Miles Sanders is finally
staying healthy.
I think he has the proper tools now to be able to play his game. The patient running that I think he's used to.
Running back maturity. He's running harder, not trying to break everything.
And then just having some backups when he gets tired, some decent running backs to come in and...
Same old faces.
Yeah. But, I mean, shit, just with...
Let's talk about the linebacker play. It's good for the first time.
Before we get there, I just want to get offense. A.J. Brown, and then having the young buck on the other side.
Devontae Smith, yes.
And then now let's open it up that Goddard can block and then also come out and bust for 25 yards.
Yeah, we knew that, but I think everybody knows that now.
But now it's open it up where he can do that. So that's offensive side.
I mean, we're just great on offense right now. So that's really...
And we're utilizing it. Like,
we got the tools.
We don't have to do trick plays as much. Like, we run that RPO, but...
We've actually been running less RPO as the weeks have gone on. We can run it. If you want to stop the pass, we can pass it. If you want to stop the... Whatever we need to do, we can do to win.
And I think that AJ Brown addition of him is just
Talk about another gear,
bust
right?
so much shit.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
But then our defense, like,
This is the bright spot for me.
how long have we watched the Eagles, and every deep pass that happens against us, we go, fuck,
Big
that's going to be 30.
plays, yeah, big chunk plays. I mean, listen, when you have James Bradbury and you have Slay, big play Slay, I mean, on paper, yeah, it sounds impressive, but when you watch the Eagles play, it's unbelievable how good these guys are. And then you got C.J. Gardner, 5 interceptions.
Another fucking
In 4
gigantic
games.
pickup by Roseman,
Yeah. So,
which
Epps is
we
Epps,
didn't
whatever.
give much up for. It was a 4th round pick,
Yeah, I believe so.
something like that. So, and has 5 interceptions.
5 interceptions in 4 games, which
Yeah.
is like no Eagles.
So
done
we
that
just
in
picked up
seasons.
a badass that our team is already pretty stout.
Right. So that,
Defensive line, we've had a good 4-run.
we're getting
year.
up there in age, but listen,
But then we got the big man,
Fletcher or Jordan
Well,
Davis.
Jordan
who's down.
Davis, who's down now, but he's going to come back in the pinnacle of the season.
Yeah. Let's hope. Let's hope he can. I mean, he's a young kid, so like you're not banking on him to ride to the championship or whatever. Anyway, the draft Roseman had a great draft.
And it's crazy to look at going like, all right, we have Fletcher Cox. Sweet. We have Brandon Graham coming back healthy, playing strong. Awesome. Then we have Jordan Sweat. Sweat, I forget his first name. I'm sorry. From Notre Dame, Sweat going there, and just a good rotation. And then we got Hargrave, who we picked up from the Steelers, who is just like, I feel like he was a person that wasn't completely talked about.
Well, he wasn't completely
went-
healthy to start the season.
Yeah, but
so 5 sacks.
He was like
in
a
2
little
games.
under the radar, and then all of a sudden, boom, kick through the door.
Yeah, him and Fletch have been a solid pairing now for a few years.
That's a scary defensive line.
Josh Sweat, by the way.
Joshua, that's it.
Josh Sweat.
So, like, even when our starters, we have such a great defensive line
Yeah,
rotation.
which is a trend in the NFL. But we do it
become-
right. Yeah.
Um,
Stay healthy. We need to stay healthy. Jordan Davis. We can't lose another big man.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then talk about the linebacker core.
This is the best part, the biggest bright spot, if you will, for me is T.J. Edwards was an undrafted free agent, okay? And this guy's playing borderline Pro Bowl level. He's breaking up passes.
He's not one dimensional. A lot of times I feel like
he was, yeah.
we had so many just one dimensional linebackers. They're
Or
good
just
tacklers.
below average, honestly.
Yeah.
Singleton, not,
We had guys that like they could do one good thing and then like hopefully he can keep up with the rest of the shit.
Hopefully they can, stay on the field and make us look respectable, which they didn't. But they were mostly special teams guys, and I think any real, like, serious person looking in knew that they didn't have talent linebacker, and that's just what it was. But Kazir White, T.J. Edwards, locking it down. You could call Hassan Reddick a linebacker, but really he's a pass rusher. He had
Another
one
big
break-
pickup.
Huge. Yeah, he's got 5.5 sacks, 3 strip fumbles.
And
He's
then
been
also,
huge.
not to go back, but I'm drawing a blank. Who did we just grab?
Robert Quinn.
Yeah. Once again, it was like Jordan Davis went down. Oh, shit. Oh, we have Robert Quinn coming in, too.
Right, hopefully, yeah. I mean, he can't stop the run like Jordan Davis can, but if he can add a little heat.
You're seeing him do an uphill. Like,
Right,
he's getting
This
better.
is the first week that he's
Yeah.
actually had a full practice week. I mean, he came in on a Wednesday, had to play Sunday, then we had a Thursday night. So let's hope, just like C.J. Gardner, with some practice time,
Which I think we have a good coaching staff. I do. That goes
That's a
unnoticed
Sirianni
in the
trickle
NFL,
down.
I think. I mean, just like with Stout, the offensive line.
Yeah,
like,
well,
those coaches actually do really mean a lot. Like, you think this is an NFL player, so he can just come in and do it all. But you do sometimes forget, like, these dudes work so hard in practice, watch so much film, that the coach really is a big piece.
Yeah, well,
of it.
having played the sport, you know that those assistants and those, position coaches, they're not just guys who, sit around. They're integral to the whole team. And, of course, nobody's going to really talk about assistant coaches outside of the city, but we will.
Yeah, we will.
So, and then just on the linebacker thing real quick. We don't really play with 3 linebackers, but N'Kobe Dean is really a kid in the waiting. People are like really eager to see him play. But you guys, listen, when you have Kazir White and you have TJ Edwards playing at the level they are, week in and week out, you can't just put the kid on the field for no reason.
And you're seeing White sideline to sideline. You're seeing him like making tackles on screens. Yeah. You know, his jersey is always in that pile.
Both TJ Edwards and Kazir White, contract years. So, of course, they're running sideline to sideline. You know what I mean? So, hey, we have to re-sign like 8 guys next season. They're all on 1-year deals. But
and that's for the future. You'll hear us talk about that later. But
did I go too deep?
No, that's what, because you can go that deep. I just the way I am in life, I'm so passionate. Sometimes I look past the details where I just go, I fucking love these guys so much.
yeah.
Where you can dig a little bit deeper. I want to give just a quick, funny shout-out story that probably most people know. Covey.
Britain.
Yeah. Did you see that he had to park in the fans?
Yeah, I think that was week
because
2.
the dudes who run the players' parking lot didn't recognize him.
Yeah, they didn't know who he was.
And he had that one muffed catch, but I guess we have a little bit of...
Yeah, there's not a whole lot to talk about with the special teams because they
That's hard
haven't
to
been
talk about.
good, but he's caught the ball.
It's just one of those things that
you know.
you never see, like, you very rarely see a great thing out of special teams besides a kicker making a 60-yarder. It's just you only see the mess ups.
Right.
So you seen a kid who came from like kind of nowhere-ish to like
one of those
our
training
coaching
camp
staff
guys
said we can trust him of one of the biggest mistakes that could happen in professional football.
Yeah, muff punt's bad, but he's been good enough. We don't kick field goals anymore, so Jake Elliott is, never gets to kick. But
when he does what we need him to do
for the most part.
And
I mean, literally, we don't really kick field goals anymore. So.
I mean, when you have a quarterback that can squat 700 pounds, 4th and 1, stop it.
I'm not
run it till they can't stop it. People have been like, "Why do they keep doing?" I'm like, because it fucking works.
Yeah,
that's why.
Yeah.
So Birds are doing good. Keep it up.
We got the Commanders again in Monday night.
Is Carson healthy now? Do you know?
No, he's going to be out for another 3-4 weeks possibly. So we get Heineke, who I've always liked kind of from the outside looking in. I mean, Wentz, he's going to get the job back.
I wanted him to come back because we sacked him, 8 times that game?
Yeah. Let's not rub it in.
Yeah. He just holds onto the ball long enough for us to go, sack.
Something happened to him when he got his bell rung. I feel like,
which I was all in for him. So we got the Commanders, which as long as we do our thing.
Can't have a trap game. Can't have a let up.
The NFL is perfectly set up for that to happen. It really can.
Every week, you never know.
These are all professional athletes. Yeah, right. You get into the schedule of how bad they're doing.
That's the biggest thing the Eagles have proven, that other teams, the Bills losing to the Jets, the Eagles have proven that even when there's some adversity, they've got the teamwork, the leadership, and the talent.
And our fans have showed up at every stadium.
Yeah, that's every basic.
So we got the Commanders, I think, is a W. We got the Colts, which that will be a really big upset if we don't win that game.
Yeah, we can get down. We can get it to that.
And the Packers, Titans, Giants.
They're surprised.
That's going to be our thing. I think we just have to beat the Giants
and the Cowboys,
which is how
because they're legit teams.
But we want to keep it short and sweet for you. Once again, Rachel, can you give us our plugs?
Sure. So we have Twitter, AML_media_. That's the same for YouTube, AML_media_. Instagram is a little bit different, AML media _ at the end. And then if you want to find all of our links and direct links to our podcast and all of our social media, go to aml.news.blog.
And
go to the site.
Once again, just go to the site, aml.news.blog. You can find everything. This has been the Homesick Philly Bros.
We're homesick.
We really are when it comes to sports.
Yeah.
It's the thing that brings us together. It always has in our family. Love you, fans.
Thanks for
Love
stopping
you,
by.
Mom. Thanks for coming by. That thing.
We just